Ezra Levant here for Rebel News. I'm standing in Toronto on Dufferin Street. It's an interesting neighborhood, lots of Italian and Portuguese people, but also the Jewish community to the east of here. The local member of the provincial parliament is Robin Martin, MPP. You can see her address here on Dufferin Street. You can also see some police. 1, 2, 3 police cars. I think there's been about 4 police here because Robin Martin's office has been vandalized, graffitied, and otherwise attacked by the Hamas street gangs. Here, let's take a look around. Officer, how you doing? I'm Ezra Levant from Rebel News, and I heard that there was some antisemitic vandalism. Can you tell us when this was discovered?
The complainant found it this morning.
And do you think it happened overnight?
Well, so we're still investigating. At this time, we don't have a lot of information.
Fair enough. And I don't want to get in your way, but I wouldn't mind knocking on the door to see if I could talk to someone. Is that okay?
Right now, this part is a crime scene, but please don't go inside.
Okay, I won't go inside. So what we just heard is that it's an active crime scene, according to that officer. You can see the word "killed by Israel," and a lot of pictures in the style of the posters that the Jewish community has put up of the kidnapped victims of Hamas. You can see that red paint, I presume symbolizing blood, is splashed out front. Shame on Robin, genocide supporter. She has a very low profile, as frankly all MPPs have. The officer just telling me it's an active crime scene. They don't have any tape up, but that it's still being investigated. I'm sure that's true. I'm not sure what they could find. Perhaps there is fingerprints on it. I'm not sure. There may be some surveillance cameras. I see that there's a Ring door buzzer surveillance system at the door there. Perhaps if you know the Ring system, it's motion detected as well as doorbell activated. So it looks like there's at least one surveillance camera that may have caught the perpetrator. As I was saying before the officer came up to me, Robin Martin, like all of Doug Ford's MPPs, has kept a very low profile during the last 6 months of Hamas hate marches, anti-Semitism, hate speech, etc. Oh, looks like the cops are going. Let's turn our camera around. Looks like some more officers have arrived. I think we're pretty fresh here on the scene, which is slightly confusing to me because it's about 12:30 in the afternoon, and I guess the politician's office doesn't really start at the crack of dawn if police were only notified now. As I was saying before I interrupted myself, the provincial government, it has a police force, the OPP, the Ontario Provincial Police, and as well, they master the prosecutors in Ontario. You have the Toronto Police, you have the Ontario Provincial Police, you have the RCMP, but typically when they charge someone with a crime, it's the provincial prosecutors who report to the Ontario Attorney General who prosecute them. And so the lenience we've seen towards the Hamas hate marches, the ubiquity of the vandalism, the mischief, the graffiti, the anti-Semitic chants, the targeting of Jewish MPPs, the targeting of Jewish schools and synagogues, the person who has been declining to prosecute is Doug Ford and, ironically, Robin Martin, MPP, who has not said a word about the hate marches, who won't lift a finger to stop them, is now a victim of them. There's some poetry there, although it's dark poetry. Every single day in Doug Ford's Ontario, laws are being broken. People chant their support for terrorist groups against the criminal code. People fly the flags of terrorist groups against the criminal code. People beset Jewish synagogues and disturb them against Section 176.2 of the criminal code. We've seen people blocking streets, blocking entire Jewish neighborhoods against the criminal code. The police have typically been ordered to stand down. That's a decision by Toronto's communist mayor, Olivia Chow. But the decision not to prosecute these Hamas hate marches, that's 100% on Doug Ford. And Robin Martin's office, which is vandalized with anti-Semitic graffiti, don't expect her to raise a finger. If she didn't care for you, do you think she'll care for herself? I doubt it. On the streets of Toronto, this is Ezra Levant. What do you think of the Hamas hate gangs that basically have the run of the city? They do much more atrocious things than just vandalize offices. They make death threats. They wave the flags of banned terrorist criminal organizations. They block entire Jewish neighborhoods. They beset Jewish synagogues, all of which is illegal in various forms. But the cops don't do a damn thing. And they're not going to do a damn thing here either. Hey, what do you think about all this? I think that if any people are involved in these Hamas hate marches and they're not Canadian citizens, if they're temporary foreign workers or here on a student visa or just permanent residents, deport them. Enough of the Hamas hate. Go to deporthamas.com.